Hello, my magnificent young entrepreneurs. While we're talking about business ethics, I have one short story I want to tell you about whitewater rafting and the whitewater rafting business, but it applies to much more than just rafting. I love whitewater rafting. When my kids were younger and they were here to help me carry the raft up and down the hill, we used to go rafting in the summertime on the South Fork of the American River here almost every weekend. It's a beautiful, wonderful, fun, exciting adventure. If you've never done it, you ought to try it at least once. But I got to the point where I loved whitewater rafting so much, I thought that perhaps I would start my own rafting company. And I began to take courses on things like whitewater rescue. Eventually, I decided not to start a rafting company, primarily because I ran into an owner of a rafting company, and he said, well, you like going rafting, right? And I said, yeah, I like going rafting. He says, well, why do you want to own a rafting company? Once you own the company, all you do is all day long you set up other people's trips and you never have time to go rafting yourself anymore. So I never started a rafting company, but when I was thinking about it, I paid particularly close attention to all of the legal matters that came up in my law office related to rafting and rafting companies. And every year, a few people who go rafting on the South Fork, they fall out of the boat or something happens to them and they get hurt. And they come into a lawyer's office. They would come in my lawyer's office once in a while and they would say, well, I got hurt on this rafting trip. I have some medical bills and I want to know what my legal rights are. And here's the interesting thing. About half of them would come in and say, well, I definitely don't want to sue the rafting company. I just have some medical bills and I just want to find out what my legal rights are in case my bills get out of hand and I have no choice. And the other half would come in and say, I got hurt, I think it's the rafting company's fault and they don't care about me and I want to sue them. And so it was interesting to me because there was this repeating pattern, and the interesting part was it was the same companies over and over again. It was one company that would say, I definitely don't want to sue them. I just want to find out what my rights are. And on the other side, it was one company, they always said, I just want to sue them. So what was the difference between the two companies? I began to ask much more detailed questions of these potential clients when they came in my law office about why, what's the difference here, what's going on. And as it turned out, the only difference between the one company that no one wanted to sue and the other company that almost everyone wanted to sue was one follow-up phone call after the rafting trip. The company that no one wanted to sue would call up the customer a few days after the trip and say, gee, we heard that you might have been hurt on our trip. We're just calling to see if you're all right. Can you tell us what happened, and can you tell us if you're all right, and is there anything we can do to help you out? Are you okay? On the other side, people said, you know, after the trip was over, they knew I got hurt. They never even checked on me. They don't care what happened to me, and so I just want to sue them. So one follow-up phone company by a business indicating that they care about the customer and what happened to the customer is sometimes the difference between getting sued and not getting sued. And that is a lesson for you to store away. It has a lot more to do with than just the rafting business, right?